It is the end of summer, and it's the end of August. Oh my. I've had a rather pleasant August. Summer overall. It's been pretty nice. Didn't really do anything really exciting. Um, I We went to go stay with the family a few weeks ago, and we had plans to go to see an aquarium up in the north coast in Niigata Prefecture, but we ended up not going, and that was oh well. Other than that, I've just taken a bunch of time off in August, and it's been fun. And gosh, it's been it's only been about what 5 or 6 weeks or so, but it seems to have gone by a lot more slowly, and I like that. So at the beginning of August, there was the big festival in my town, and I did a video of that a year ago, and I'll show you some of that this year. I took some video of that as well this year, and it's funny, because I live up in this town in the mountains, and people here, they complain about it being too hot, and they're like, oh, wow, it's so hot today, and I'm always like, it feels great to me. I tell them that I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm from a desert. And I tell them it gets up to like past 45 degrees Celsius in the summertime, and they can't believe that at all. So here, once it's like past 35 degrees Celsius, then it gets kind of annoyingly hot, I think. Lately we've had a bunch of rain, so it's been like 33, but like very muggy, and I don't like that at all. So, anyhow, gosh, yeah, summertime, I always want to watch lots of anime, right? So I have been watching Record of Lodoss War. I recently picked up the Blu-ray of Akira, and that was pretty cool. I have to say, the Record of Lodoss War, they really clean that up. They make it really, really look beautiful. So I've done a bunch of shopping at book offs. So what I've got, like on Blu-ray, I picked up Big Trouble in Little China, which is they call it Ghost Hunters here in Japan. They just changed the name arbitrarily. It's kind of stupid. Probably because Ghostbusters was a big deal, and so even though there's no ghost in the movie, they called it Ghost Hunters. I don't know. Plus, Big Trouble in Little China is kind of really a real mouthful to say, so they changed the name. So I got that. I got Star Trek the Motion Picture. I got Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. And the motion picture, I thought there was going to have the director's cut on there, but it's the original theatrical release. The Wrath of Khan Blu-ray, you can choose between the theatrical and the director's cut. So I was a little bit disappointed with the motion picture one. What else did I get? Gee, what did I get? I just remembered it was 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. I got that for only like 600, 700 yen or something like that. It was rather cheap, so I was happy to get that. Most of those Blu-rays, they're at book off, they're used, but like the most expensive one was like maybe 1,200 yen or something like that. Not much money at all, so I was pretty happy about that. I have not spent any money on any new model kits. However, though, I have gotten some model related accessories and stuff. I got a really cool light box and such. Got some neat stuff to show you, even though there's no model kits involved. So yeah, I've been in a bit of a Sofubi kick lately. So I've heard from at least 2 people. People say Sofubi, and that's kind of funny. Sofubi is the Japanese it's like a truncation of saying softo biniru, right? So soft vinyl, Sofubi. They don't really do the V sound very well usually, so it's Sofubi. not so Fubi. But anyhow, since I've been watching Record of Lodos War, I was just so tempted to get started on the Deedlit figure. I've gotten pretty far with the Y-wing. I'm getting pretty close to being done with that, and I think I finally got the hang of working with V-color paints. So again, V-color paints are, if you build a vinyl kit, you can use regular paints on it, except for enamel. You don't want to do that. So, like for the Y-wing here. Oh no, the little gun busted off. I'll have to glue that back into place. I did an acrylic wash instead of an enamel wash. That's, you just don't want to use enamels at all. Maybe I should try it out on like some scrap vinyl and see what happens. I'm kind of interested, but apparently it doesn't quite dry, and it never will dry. It's some sort of chemical reaction it has. I don't know. Anyhow, I have been busy working on the Nadia kits, so you will see this hopefully sometime in the very near future. I finally got this to look right, and because I had struggled with this so hard, and so yeah, all three of these Nadia kits, and over the past weekend I did the painting of the yellow bathing suit. So yeah, there's that. I got some cool channel recommendations and such. Gosh, as far as entertainment stuff goes, I've heard people telling me about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie and how fun it is. I would like to see that. When I lived in Shizuoka Prefecture, though, like, I lived within either walking distance or like a quick bike ride from a train station. Actually, 2 train stations that I could have easily just jumped on a train and gone to see a movie. And at a shopping mall, right, where there's a movie theater. Where I live now, it's like I have to get on the expressway, and it's like, it just feels like, the word is mendokusai. It's just in Japanese, right? Mendokusai means like, I just don't feel like doing it. You just kind of, it's just bothersome, and just kind of, puts you out. It's kind of how I feel. I don't really travel as much as I used to. Don't really get around. So justifying the cost of the expressway fees, of the toll gates, all that just to get to go see a movie, and it's by myself, and I don't know, it just takes longer to get somewhere, right? So I never really get to see any movies on my own anymore. Like, the last movie I went to go see was Nausicaa, and that was like in 2020 when they were showing the old Ghibli movies, and I don't really get to do that very much, though. So yeah, well, the Deadpool, I saw the first Deadpool movie, and I think I saw that on the airplane. I don't think I've ever seen it since then. I was just on an airplane and I saw Deadpool, and then they had Deadpool 2. I never got around to seeing it. Maybe I should go rent those again and see the Wolverine movie, I guess. I don't know. But I am excited about seeing, like, the new Alien Romulus movie. Holy crap, that sounds like fun. I've heard it really harkens back to, like, the first 2 movies, and that's the only, those are the only 2 Alien movies that I like. I don't care about the other ones. Like, Alien Resurrection, it's a fun movie. I kind of enjoyed it, and I recently learned that it was Joss Whedon who wrote the script for that movie, unless I'm mistaken. It was a fun movie, and they had some cool parts, especially, like, the aliens swimming underwater and stuff like that. But it's the first two movies are all I care about, and apparently this Romulus movie really aims at capturing the atmosphere of the first two movies, and I'm happy about that. Although I heard that like it has a bit of a reference to the Prometheus, and I've never bothered to see that movie at all. It's like the whole alien, you know, like the space derelict ship, the Navigator. I don't want an origin story on that. I don't care how that ship showed up on planet LV-426. I just don't care. I don't need to see a freaking explanation about that. It's better left as a mystery. So that Prometheus movie, I never went to go see it. I don't care. So anyhow, how about I show you some of the video that I had taken at the Matsuri, the local festival. I'll show you that now. So before I get too far into this video, I do want to ask about Odyssey. So the last update I made was, I think, at the end of April. I think I uploaded it like the first week of June or so. And let me know if you have a problem, any problems with viewing videos on Odyssey. Somebody told me that it kept hanging up. In my experience, if you just get like the spinning disc and it doesn't seem like it's going to be progressing, what I do is I make note of the time, and then I just reload, you know, Control R, reload the video, and if necessary skip ahead to that where that time is where it left off, and usually it works just fine. YouTube used to have that, gosh, it's been way more than 10 years ago. I mean, it was like maybe 12 or so years ago. YouTube used to be like that. So yeah, let me know, what I do is, especially if there are topics that YouTube does not like, then I certainly upload those updates directly to Odyssey. On this, you know, on the other hand, though, I also do a lot of builds. Not only builds, but I do gaming videos. Although I haven't done that in a while. I want to do more gaming videos, I guess. But anyhow. I've done a bunch of builds that are Odyssey exclusive, and stuff that is kind of off the beaten path, and some builds that I am actually rather fond of. So yeah, if you've never looked at my Odyssey channel, please follow the link in the description and look. I created a playlist of Odyssey exclusive model builds and such. And I think I have a playlist for Odyssey exclusive gaming videos as well. So yeah, so this summer I did not buy any models. I do have some cool stuff to show you that's model related though that I have purchased. But first, so when we were at the in-laws, I started building the, oh gosh, where are they? Oh, I had them around here somewhere. Oh, here. I got the Harkonnen and the Atreides Ornithopters, right? So I took these with me, and I started working on them at the in-laws' place. Instead of doing any unboxing videos this month, what I want to do is just show some of the stuff that I was working on, and you know, it's not like anything serious. It doesn't. I don't think these really deserve their own video, but instead I'll just include some build footage in this update video. So I'll show it to you now.
I feel plastic. Hey, hey, hey.
First tool I'd like to show is this Mr. Polisher Pro. For the longest time I thought maybe I didn't really need anything like this, but you know, I think I do. So this one, at first I thought it was just about polishing, but it's for sanding here. So you can get like, this is 400 grit, you get 600, 800, and 1000, right? So it doesn't come with 400, so I got 400 here. So this is Mr. Polishing Pro. It's a sander, and alright, so it says use 2 AA alkaline batteries, not included. I'm gonna have to go downstairs and go. Oh my! Oh, it's already got one on here. It's got these. It's a sanding sponge here, right? Alright, so we got 600, there we go, and now I got 400 here. Let's open this up, There's the off and on here. Isn't that great? And how does this... Oh, okay, it just pops open. Alright, I'm gonna go downstairs and get some batteries. Here, her. How did this go? There. So just basically like a electric toothbrush. Nice. Yep. Cool. And I know exactly what I want to use this on. So very cool. Very swanky neat. Next, let's look at this. This is the lighting base. I got this at Lobby One. Only 2,500 yen or so. Not a bad price, really. This is a light base. Now, I'm going to get my cutter. Where's the cutter? Where's the cutter? No, I don't think that was... Maybe this has been opened already. Maybe somebody returned this or something? I don't know. This has been returned. This has already been opened. I hope this means it's okay. Otherwise I have to go find the receipt. Okay. Maybe somebody just bought this by accident or something. Hopefully it's fine. We're gonna test this out. Alright. So, I'm gonna turn off the light here. Plug this in. Oh, okay. Already we got this little blue light here. That's it? I'm actually a bit disappointed. Seriously? Look at that. It's like it's bright on here, but not over here. How does this work here? This looks like it's evenly distributed in the picture here. But frankly, I'm a little bit disappointed. Seriously? Oh! It brightens up. Ah, okay. Alright, so this weird design it's okay. Don't worry about that. Let's peel this all the way off. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It doesn't go like that. So you got like 3 different modes here. Okay, yeah, this is about what it looks like on the box here. Okay. Wow. So you can trace stuff with this? Hey! This is actually going to come in handy, actually, for that Macross project I have. Alright, so let's just look at... I'm going to put this model on here. That looks kind of cool, actually. That's cool. Neat. I'm going to show this to my daughter. The other thing I'll show you... Now, I have a smaller one, right? Again, this is also by Doyusha. This is the large photo box. It's gibungus. The other one I have, I mean, it's nice, but it's just, you can only put small stuff in there. And, just can't put bigger stuff at all. However, this is the largest one that they've got. I need my cutter again. What's the cut? What's the cut? Right. Wow. Wow. Look at this. It comes with a carry case even. This is fantastic. Okay. I'm afraid of... Oh, yep. Don't want crap to fall out here. Alright. It smells like gym equipment or something. Come on. How is this gonna plug in here? It looks like it goes like so. Come on, you butthead. There.
Wow!
And plug it in here. And let's light this guy up here. Alright. On, off. Alright. Ooh. Oh my cow. This is nice. Now I do have like a really big one. It's gibungus. It doesn't even fit on my workbench here. It's so huge. I have to set it up on the living room. All right, so like you can adjust the brightness. This is already maxed out, right? But it goes down, right? And up. Now the other one I have, you can do like warm light and different settings and crap. This one I think it's just off and on, but look at this. So it's got this thing on top here. I guess if you have a light like this here, I can shine more light down into the hole to provide more lighting. And if you really want to go crazy, place this in position here, right? Even more lighting. This is really cool. So it has these different colors. Alright, I'm gonna unplug this guy here, get this out of the way. Boink! Okay, move this out of the way. I forget how much I paid for this. It wasn't too bad. Maybe like 5,000 yen or 6,000, I can't remember. But anyhow, there are, and it's gonna be really difficult to show you, but there's some like these little holes here. There are these little teeth up at the top here that grab onto those holes, and you just gotta pull them out and then loop them onto here. And maybe if I push from behind. There. Oh my god. There we go. Look at that, guys. That's cool. That is super cool. Let me grab something. Here's your. Now, the older one is probably big enough for this figure here, I think. I mean, it's good enough for like Gundams and crap. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty big actually. So I like this. This is great. Really fantastic. So you zoom in here and you're not gonna get like the edges of the box, right? Unless you pull way out here. Then you can see the edges of the box. But if you get in a little bit closer though, it fills in the whole frame, widescreen, right? The 16:9 aspect ratio of a video. This is cool. I picked up the October 2024 issue of Model Graphics Magazine. As you can see here on the cover, this is 2001: A Space Odyssey. And we just always called it 2001: A Space Odyssey, of course. Ever since the year 2000, though, after that, I always said 2001 because that's just stupid saying 2001. But back in the, just decades ago, it's just 2001 sounds a lot more futuristic, and nobody ever said 2001: A Space Odyssey. Anyhow, so here, yeah, this is all Mobius models, I'm sure. So, a bunch of pictures from the movie. I recently picked this up on Blu-ray, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, here we go. Mobius models, the Space Station 5. And I'm not sure when this came out. I kind of lost track of these model kits. But I don't even know if Mobius is still around. I don't know. I mean, they were bought out by Pegasus, but I don't even know if Pegasus is around anymore. Beats me, man. I don't know, but anyhow, this looks really awesome. So this has a bit of a how-to on how they went about doing things. We got the LED tape going through the wheel, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's right. There's like a second wheel that's it's kind of, unfinished. So yeah, so they got like MP3 player, push a button and stuff. That's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's cool if you like it, but people kind of go overboard. So this is modeled by Dorobo Hige. Now who did this other one here, by the way? I wonder. Let's see. This is Dorobo Hige. Alright, and if you don't know who Dorobo Hige is, it's weird. He's got a YouTube channel, but like he doesn't. I have more subscribers than he does. It's really bizarre. He is like just a genius when it comes to sci-fi model kit lighting. Actually, he does other stuff more than just model kits, though. Like he has done like the Aoshima fire engine and stuff like that as well. So this is the Orion, right? The Pan American. Yeah, so this is what I think Airfix had done one once upon a time. Oh, look, it's got like magnets and stuff there. That's pretty cool. And that they did an updated version. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so more stuff. These are stuff on display here. Oh my gosh, the Ares 1B. Holy crap. Yeah, Mobius models. This is so freaking cool looking. Oh my gosh. And paragraphics. Airlock door. Is that resin or something? Or 3D printed, I wonder? I don't know. By the way, let's see who built this. This is Chogi. I don't know who that is. Really fantastic. So I've met Dorobo Hige a few times, talked to him, and I think I've met Wild River. He's another Japanese sci-fi modeler. The Moon Bus. by Kato was that Yusuke? Okay. The Moon Bus. Now this is an older kit. I think they had updated perhaps. I know this is like I remember seeing a model kit of this a long time ago. And again, they show how to do it. They got like the LED tape. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. It's a lot of wiring, guys. I don't know how you can hold keep track of everything there. That's crazy. So, oh, and of course the Discovery. Alright, this is the 350 scale. This is like the really gibungus one. I think they released a 1000 scale one. So this is Fukui. I can't read that kanji. I don't know who this is. But amazing. And so I think they came out with a 1000 scale Discovery as well. And there was like this really gibungus Discovery. Oh, what scale was it? Oh gosh. So of course Mobius Models put out this kit, but like, I think it was Kyoto. They made this like this huge, like it's as big as a coffee table. And I saw it in person. And oh, Rokugen. I think I've met him. Yeah, the monolith. Boy, that's a difficult model to put together, right? My God, it's full of stars. And that line is actually from the sequel, right? 2010. It's funny because like in the original Kubrick movie, they have like freaking like tablets, like iPad type, like sheets of paper kind of video screens, right? And it's like so futuristic. And then like in the sequel that came out like in '84 or something like that, they've got like huge ass CRT monitors and such. It's just like, all right, that's quite a step back. And what did he do? He just got a block of wood and stuck plastic around it, apparently. Weird, huh? Alright, so Gal Modeler, yeah, okay. What else we got in this? Let's see. Alright, Gaia Notes stuff. Aliens. Oh, I've got this. The Colonial Marines Technical Manual. I've got this book. Haha. Haha. Ships. Now, I like how... What are they doing here? What are they building here? This is 100 Torad 11? I don't know. So this is they're updating oh, this is an old Votom's kit, it looks like. Yeah, they've been redoing like these really old kits, like those Takara. Some other issues I've had, they had the Takara Votom's kits. So speaking of Votom's, Rapidly Dog, this is a heavily customized, like this is how it comes, right? And this is what they did. That Gatling gun, I guess, is probably by Kotobukiya, I think, because they make those Gatling guns and such for Gundam-sized stuff and things. Yeah. More Gundam stuff. I'm gonna skip ahead. That's pretty wild looking. Is that Big Zam? I don't even know, man. I'm so ignorant when it comes to Gundams. I mean, this is the RX-78, obviously, but there's just so many Gundams. I can't keep track of them. They really start to look the same. I would like to get more Gundam Sentinel stuff that came out in the late 80s. Some of those kits, like the Zeta 2 Plus C, they have a model kit of that. Oh yeah, yeah. This is like a frickin' Yeah, okay, if you go to like Bamiyan and other restaurants in Japan, they got like these Dalek looking uh, waiters that come out and they have like food trays, and like this has this cute little kitty cat face, and it comes and you can hear like this music that it plays, and it comes to your table and says exterminate. Actually, it doesn't, but that'd be pretty cool if it did. Anyhow, yeah. Now, who is this that makes this? Wait, this is a page. Yeah, Kotobukiya makes that. That is so cool, man. Hasegawa is doing more Yatterman. They got the freaking boss here coming out with Ai-chan resin kit. That's kind of cool. I'm not. You know, it's weird. My daughter, she freaking loved Yatterman when she was a little kid. Like when she was in nursery school, she watched all of the original Tatsunoko Yatterman. She watched the whole reboot Yatterman anime, and then she doesn't even remember it. It's funny. She was so totally into Yatterman, and now she can't even remember it. Funny. All right, so Nipcom. What was this? So, oh, this is Niigata. Yeah, Niigata Plamo Community. That's cool. So there was a Niigata convention here. So they got a hobby show up in Niigata. When was that? That was July 14th. Actually, July used to be called September because of the whole sept. Right, is 7 in French, and anyhow, it used to be September, and then Julius Caesar, he wanted to have a month named after him, and whatever. So, the Wonder Festival scrapbook. Oh my cow! Oh my freaking cow! And yeah, so. The Wonder Festival has all of the resin kits and such. By the way, Leona from Leona's workshop, she did an interesting, it was like a 2-hour vlog or whatever about the status of Wonder Festival and how they got these people who are inside buying up all the kits, and before anybody else can get to them. It's pretty shady. They got this whole garage kit mafia thing going on. It's pretty weird. Now, I worked at Wonder Festival 1 year in 2016, and it sucked because I was stuck at the Aoshima booth, their tables, and once they sold out of all the Konkole crap, they had like this limited edition, event only figure, like a color variation, and once they sold out of that, that was it. So I was stuck there. We were just like selling t-shirts and stickers or whatever, and I was like, oh god, this is boring, it sucks. Anyhow, yeah, it is not fun to work at a hobby show and just be standing on your feet all day long. Your feet get so much more tired standing in one place. This chick here, this Sakura, she has such captivating eyes. Unfortunately, she's dyes her hair now. She looked nicer when she had black hair. And oh my gosh, there's the nose art queens or whatever. Okay, so I've got something else to show you. Let's look at this next. This is Figure King. So, it's a bit pricey. It's 1,500 yen for this. So, yeah, it just says number 319. It's a MOOC, right? So it's not, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't go by monthly or anything like that. I don't know how often these are published, but I don't really look at this very often. Now, sometimes they do coverage of garage kits and such. I picked this up because of, obviously, this is the 40th anniversary of Macross Do You Remember Love? Ai oboetemasu ka? So, this magazine mostly covers action figures and the pre-painted PVC or selfie figures. Alright, so we got like Deadpool figures coming up. So, but yeah, I got this because, oh, that's weird. That's weird. I got this because Macross. Holy crap. Holy crap. It would take a very long time to try to translate this. There's just a hell of a lot of kanji I just don't know. But of course you got lots of really awesome visuals from the movie. And this here is Kawamori Shoji. Interview with him and his legendary eyebrows. So he did like the Valkyries and all of that kind of stuff, the UN Spacey designs. And it goes into toys. Holy crap. So going all the way back to 1984. Now this doesn't cover like the Takatoku, right? That was like the original TV show. This is the movie version stuff only, right? So it's not totally comprehensive. This just focuses on the movie. Okay, so this is the High Metal Valkyrie series by Bandai. So you can replace the cockpit here. Look at that, it says Bandai right there, 1984. Wow, I can only imagine these things go for a hell of a lot of money. Alright, then it's got newer stuff here, right? This is 2008, this is also Bandai. Got these little SD things. They're kind of cool, I guess. This goes back to 1984. Also Bandai. It has Yamato stuff in here too. Or Arcadia, whichever. Maybe both, I can't remember. Now this is stuff from way back when. These are model kits. The Imai Super Valkyrie. Actually these are Strike Valkyries, but whatever. So 170 scale plastic kit. Wow, 170 scale. Wait, who made this? Weapon system. Oh yeah, that's just what it's called. I think this is Imai. And yeah, it's got an interview with Miyatake as well. Alright, now he did the design for the SDF-1 Macross as well as the Zentradi. Alright, so okay, so like this is Miyatake, and then this is Kawamori, right? And it's got the characters. It's got like the different colors. Alright, so pictures of the characters here. God, I love this movie. So apparently they have on Blu-ray. The first time they released it on Blu-ray, it was censored. They took out the violence, and that was just dumb. And a lot of fans pushed back on that. And so then I guess they released it on Blu-ray again, but intact, right? Because I have the laser disc of this. And speaking of stuff like that, so here's the pamphlets. I have this. Chirashi, this is like a little mini poster. I have this. Macross, this is animation. I have this. Now, I don't have this. I've got the Macross Graffiti. I guess that wasn't the movie, though. Here's records, or here's a Mighty Izuma, right? Actual records, and here's like the soundtrack and such. Appearances on, here's Animage, here's Out magazines, here's Animic. That wasn't as popular, I guess. You don't see so much of that anymore. Alright, so here's Bandai Spirit stuff. Cool. Look at that. There's the Elite Seeker. That is so cool, man. Now there's the Super Ostrich, the trainer. And just more stuff here. Here are the Arcadia stuff. My friend has this. He's got this. And apparently there was a different version where they had like fluorescent, I think, it has like fluorescent coloring on it. So if you shine a black light on it, it looks like it's lit up. This is so cool. A plush gun pod. It's got the GU11 gun pod. It's plush. But with that, I mean, it's like 15,000 yen. No, thank you. I'm not paying that much money for a pillow. No. No, thank you. Alright. Now, here are the Hasegawa model kits. I don't know what this is like, number 1, number 2. I don't know, in terms of release, I'm not sure. I don't know, guys. You tell me. Anyhow, so I have these, right? I've got the Super Ostrich, I've got the Elite Seeker. Oh, by the way, I've kind of resumed working on my Valkyrie model kit too. I just haven't gotten in the mood. So I've got this. This has the A, J, and S together. Here's the Batroid. I've got this kit. I got this kit. I'd like to get this someday, but whatever. This is the 48th scale Super Strike Valkyrie. I've got this. And here's the new ones that came out this year. Holy crap, right? Here's Melia's Quadrillion Row, and then here's a Max's Quadrillion Row. Here's the SDF-1 Macross. I have this. I don't want to get the Storm Attacker version. I just, I'm happy with it, just this version. I've got the Eggplane as well. And here's Max Factory. Oh shit, yeah. Here's that gibungus 20th scale Gerwalk thing. This is just, yeah. It's one way to get your wife to get super duper mad at you. This is the Valkyrie, the fighter mode. And here are their Plamax 72nd scale kits. Like a doofus, I bought one of these and I didn't even realize that they were sticker only. The ones that come with decals came out later. I would like to buy one with the decals and just build it to see how it's like. It's very much like a Gunpla type of build, whereas the Hasegawa one is more like just like a scale model. Hasegawa Batroids though are like more closer to snap fit, and I'm almost finished with the armored Valkyrie. I just need to do a couple little things with it and I'm done. I got the hands painted, I just haven't gotten around to just really finalizing it yet. But that one is mostly snap fit, although there are a few places where you gotta glue. Not a whole lot though. And so Plamax, right? This is Max Factory, Plamax, Minimum Factory. It's all the same company, okay? They have these 20th scale, or I think they're 20th scale. I have Minmay. Gosh, do I even have, I think I have this one. I'm such a dork, I don't even know what I have. I need to get Misa, though. I want to get Misa. I'm pretty sure I've got Hikaru. And here's just stuff, right? So this magazine, it goes into occasionally I think like they'll do a thing on like Wonder Festival, stuff like that. This really focuses on a lot of see, for example, here's a whole bunch of Sloth Beast stuff, right? These are like super collectible, super expensive stuff that you don't buy for your kids, that's for sure. And so you got X-Men stuff. Or I dog-eared one page. Now this is just freaking amazing though. I mean, golly, look at that. Here's Wolverine. It's just, oh. I'd like to say uncanny, but, you know, pun not intended, I guess. Because, you know, uncanny X-Men. Yeah, you know what I mean. Tony Stark, Iron Man. That is just, oh my gosh, it's just so super realistic. I forget that actor's name. But there's Spider-Man. Look at that. Scarlett Johansson. It looks just like her. It's just, I can't believe that's an action figure. Oh, hey, removable clothing. You can see her tits. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. That is just so beautiful, though. Holy crap. Joker. I'm not into DC. And Alien Romulus. There's a thing about the movie here. I'd like to see that. So we got Transformers. You know, they got a bunch of toys and stuff. And where is that? There's more Soft Beast stuff. So we got the different figures here. Let me move ahead. Move on. Where's the dog-eared page? The cool thing about this magazine is it lists like all these different Gachapon that are coming out, and so that's pretty cool. And then stuff and things. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Look at that, Nendoroid Daedalus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's pretty pricey though. Well, you can probably get it cheaper than that, but yeah. And they just have a bunch of figures. It's all pre-painted stuff. They don't really do a lot of resin kit stuff here at all, really. I mean, if Hasegawa does something, I guess they might show it in here. Like here's Aoshima's VFG stuff, right? They do some model kit stuff here. For the most part, it's just pre. Oh yeah, here's Aoshima. Yeah, here's the DeLorean. That's neat. Look at that Star Trek Enterprise. It is a subgenre here in Japan. It's not, Star Trek is not very popular at all. But wow, there's some retro stuff here. And then here we go. We're at the end. So yeah, I got this. My friend wanted me to pick one up for him, so I got one for him too. So yeah, neat stuff, huh?
New toys!
Let me show you some Gachapon. Yep. Here. Alright, these are Gachapon I've gotten over the summer here. Look, it's a Siamese betta fish. It's Steve. Oh my gosh, it's Steve. Now, this actually, I never had an orange one. I had a red one, I had a blue one, I have like a purple one, I think a blue with like red fins and such. These Siamese betta fish have such beautiful colorings, and so I wanted to get a blue one. I unfortunately the next time I went to the mall, I got another one exactly the same color, and so I'm like, oh crap. You know, the prices of Gachapon have gone up, right? So yeah, this the whole Biden inflation thing is affecting everybody, and so they used to be something like this used to be 300 yen, now it's 400 yen. So I got this, I was happy. And I got another one, it turns out to be the same one, and I don't know what to do with it. And then I got another one, and it is this pink guy here. And this looks delicious actually. It looks like ikra, right? The salmon eggs. But I don't know why they did that, because they don't have red eggs. Actually, what they do is they form a bubble nest. The males will blow bubbles and have it collect at the top of the water, especially if you have like some leaves or something like that in your aquarium, and they'll make a bubble nest in preparation for eggs and such. And anyhow, these fish, people think that they are aggressive towards other fish, but no, actually they get aggressive towards each other. And you can have them in a communal tank. However, you got to be very careful about fin nippers. You do not want them to be around like gouramis, I think, for example. I believe those are fin nippers. Mollies are very friendly fish, and they have no problem with them in my experience. Actually, it depends. I mean, some fish, like I had a betta fish, his name was Steve, obviously they were all named Steve, and he got along fine with guppies. And then when he passed away, I replaced him with another one, and he was a lot more aggressive. And he was nipping on the fins of the guppies, because like the fan-tailed guppies look a little bit too similar to betta fish, and he could not get along with them at all. That was definitely unfortunate. So anyhow, yeah, I got these two, and I got this. Oh, it's so cute. Look, it's a little chest burster Gachapon, and see these Gachapon. Like the other one, I got this like a few years ago. Alright, and I was just happy that they still had the alien Gachapons, right? So I found one. This is the old one I have, and this is the new one. All of them come with segments of the derelict ship, and if you collect the whole set, then you get the derelict ship. But I don't know, I mean, you'd have to buy the whole set to do that. And you can do that actually on like Yahoo Shopping or maybe Rakuten. I found stuff like that there. But anyhow, I only have 2 segments of the ship, and it's not complete. So yeah, neat stuff. So yeah, that's all I've got for toys lately. Over the summer I bought some games on Steam. So again, I use my desktop is Linux, and I use the Proton utility, and for the majority of the games I'm interested in, I have no problems running them on my Linux computer. So yeah, over the summer I bought several games, and I only buy games when they go on sale pretty much. So I bought a bunch of fighting games because they had a fighting game sale earlier this summer. But check this out. So I don't know if you are into Toho or not. I'm sure there are shmup fans who are, you know, watchers of my channel. So this is Toho Makakusai 2, right? The fantastic Danmaku Festival. Really long name. But yeah, Danmaku means like a curtain of bullets, like a barrage. And so this game, all of the Toho games really especially, they're known for the Danmaku. It's usually in English you would call them bullet hell shmups. So these are 2D shooters, and you're just assaulted constantly with patterns of bullets. And in Toho especially, it's really cool. So all of the characters are female. There are no male characters as far as I have ever encountered, and all of the bosses and stuff, the shooting patterns, they're really beautiful, and it's almost like fireworks or something. It's really beautiful and really kind of relaxing at the same time. It's just a real sight to behold, as you can see in this game footage. So I have a few of the shooting games, but they also have other games as well, that like a really cool Metroidvania game that I finished earlier this year. I think it was over the summer. It was Toho Luna Nights. Toho Luna Nights. It was a really cool Metroid game. So anyhow, this is Toho Makukasai. Toho Makukasai. So yeah, fantastic Danmaku Festival too. Really cool stuff. Also, Shantae. Now, I have done a build of a Shantae resin figure, and that is on my Odyssey channel. It is an Odyssey exclusive build, so if you want to see that, you have to check out my Odyssey channel for that. But Shantae games are really cool, and these are really neat. Mostly they are Metroidvania, so this is the most recent game. This is the fifth in the series. This is Shantae and the Seven Sirens. The previous game was called Shantae the Half Genie Hero, and that was a departure from the Metroidvania format, unfortunately. But this new one, Seven Sirens, is a return to Metroidvania. It's got like the map that you can pull up and all that sort of stuff, so it's really cool. So yeah, these are some of the better games that I purchased over the summer vacation. Now for some really cool channel recommendations. So the first one up, this is on YouTube. This is Pixellie. And so if you remember the way my channel used to be when I had a lot more before I moved to a small town, I was newer to Japan. You know, I'm talking like 12 years ago or whatever. I was newer to Japan, and I had a lot more energy to record different video game, retro game, and plastic model shops and such. Well, I don't really do that so much anymore. I just don't have the motivation to do that very often. However, if that's the kind of stuff that you like, I really strongly recommend checking out Pixellie. She is, I guess she's from America, I don't know. But she recently moved to Japan earlier this year. And I think since then her channel has really exploded. And she has her own like Discord. And actually I joined her Discord. It's pretty cool because they talk about modeling as well as retro gaming and such. It's really cool. So anyhow, yeah, she has a really cool channel. Next, Jinju Paints. Now, I don't know where she's from. She sounds like she is in Europe somewhere. But she does a lot of really interesting builds. She does a lot of resin garage kit builds, and actually she hand paints like resin figures, and they actually look really nice. It's just amazing. I don't have the I just can't make hand painted figures look as great as she can do it. It's really amazing. Yeah, she doesn't use an airbrush or anything like that. So anyhow, she has a really cool channel. So she doesn't have very many subscribers, so I suggest checking her channel out. And she also has a channel on Odyssey. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like she has really updated. I think I asked her about it, and I guess she hasn't really figured out how Odyssey works. Odyssey... for me, I have like over 9,000 subscribers. You have to have like some sort of threshold of like X number of subscribers. I don't know what it's like, 1,000 or whatever, in order to have your Odyssey channel linked up to your YouTube channel. And whenever you upload to YouTube, the Odyssey will copy the content within like a half hour or so. And because she doesn't have that many followers, plus she just hasn't really figured out how it works, I guess. In order to gain credits on Odyssey, you have to get views. And you also, you know, if the more time you spend watching videos on Odyssey, then the more credits that you will get, and that will let you upload more videos. So anyhow, she does have an Odyssey channel, and if you are on Odyssey, you know, give her a subscription there. She doesn't have very many, and on top of that, actually, she also has a Rumble channel, and apparently she has no problems with uploading to Rumble. I've never uploaded anything to Rumble. I think you have to pay. But yeah, anyhow. So back to Odyssey, I found this other channel here called Japanese Figure Channel. And they do some unboxings. There's no garage kits as far as I can tell. They're just pre-painted stuff that you buy at the store and such. But if you're interested, check this one out as well. This is a pretty neat looking channel. Now for some crappy comments that I received. This first one, this was back in July. This guy called TV23 said, "Billy Corgan, why are you so angry on your site? You've been falling for the fear-mongering. I feel sorry for your family." Okay, so he saw my homepage enough to find where I had mentioned that people think I look like Billy Corgan, right? Even to this day, I get comments about that. Fear-mongering. I've been falling for fear-mongering. Now that is really interesting that he would say that, because there have been 0 injections in the arms of myself, nor my wife or child. I have not succumbed to fear-mongering whatsoever. So there's no reason to feel sorry for my family, because you know, we're not going to be getting any cardiac arrests or anything like that, or pancreatic cancer, or all this other stuff that has proliferated in recent times. No myocarditis with me. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about. So he went to my website, and fear-mongering. No, actually, YouTube has gotten on my case. The first video I got a strike about was the actual opposite, because I was speaking out against the fear-mongering. I said, hey, you know, if you want to be healthy, you know, take your mask off and go outside and get some sunlight, fresh air, and exercise. And I got in trouble for that. So I don't know what the hell this guy is talking about. He's just obviously a total asshole. So in August, I got this obvious troll here. "Do not quit your day job, dude." Your. That's a conjunction, not a possessive pronoun, right? And so, as you can see, this guy is one of those bizarre specimens that apparently they get like some sort of a weird rush by trolling people for like the dumbest reasons. I don't even know what he was complaining about with this video. It's not like I made any mistakes in it, so I don't know what the hell this guy's on about, but obviously he's just a total butt puppet. Alright, so let's move on to some happiness here. So this is by Feng Zhao. Now this is my old Legacy Hasegawa F14 Tomcat video that he had left a comment on, and yeah, he said that despite being a product from decades ago, Hasegawa's F14A still looks great. So it was really cool. Actually, he made the comment in Chinese, and I just used the translation to read what he had to say. But I just thought that was cool that I had have a viewer in China. Now here's another happiness here. So this is in August. Noriko Takaya? Really cool, because that's a reference to Gunbuster, right? He's got the Noriko from Gunbuster as the avatar there. This is really great content you've got here. I discovered your channel when I was searching for video on Momono Hunter Yoko and came across your vinyl figure build of Yoko. I went ahead and subscribed. So I thought that was really cool, and that made me happy to get a nice comment like that.
This is a war that should have never happened. It's a war the Russians tried repeatedly to settle on terms that were very, very beneficial to Ukraine and us. The major thing they wanted was for us to keep NATO out of the Ukraine. The big military contractors want to add new countries to NATO all the time. Why? Because then that country has to conform its military purchases to NATO weapon specifications, which means certain companies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, and Lockheed, get a trapped market. In March of 2022, we committed $113 billion. Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for almost every homeless person in this country. We then committed another $24 billion since then, 2 months ago, and now President Biden is asking for another $60 billion. But the big expenses are going to come after the war, when we have to rebuild all the things that we destroyed. Mitch McConnell was asked, can we really afford to spend $113 billion to Ukraine? He said, don't worry. It's not really going to Ukraine.
It's going to American defense manufacturers.
So he just admitted it's a money laundering scheme. And who do you think owns every one of those companies? BlackRock. So Tim Scott, during the Republican debate, said, don't worry, it's not a gift to Ukraine, it's a loan. So raise your hand if you think that loan's ever getting paid back. Yeah, of course it's not. So why do they call it a loan? Because if they call it a loan, they can impose loan conditions. And what are the loan conditions that we impose on? Number one, an extreme austerity program, so that if you're poor in Ukraine, you're going to be poor forever. Number two, most important, Ukraine has to put all of its government-owned assets up for sale to multinational corporations, including all of its agricultural land, the biggest single asset in Europe. In Ukraine, there's been 1,000 years of war fought over that land. It's the richest farmland in the world. It's the breadbasket of Europe. 500,000 kids almost, Ukrainian kids, have died to keep that land as part of Ukraine. They almost certainly didn't know about this loan condition. They've already sold 30% of it. The buyers were DuPont, Cargill, and Monsanto. Who do you think owns all of those companies? Yeah, BlackRock. And then in December, President Biden gave out the contract to rebuild Ukraine. And who do you think got that contract? BlackRock. So they're doing this right in front of us. They don't even care that we know anymore, because they know that they can get away with it. And how do they know that? Because they have a strategy. And that strategy is an old strategy, which is they keep us at war with each other. They keep us hating on each other. They keep the Republicans and Democrats fighting each other, black against white, and all these divisions that they sow.
Holy crap. I love RFK Jr.
My experience is that when I talk to people about it and say, how come nobody else is talking about this? I feel a lot of lights going on in people's heads saying, yeah, that actually is what we ought to be talking about. We ought to be talking about diabetes. We ought to be talking about, Alzheimer's, which, we talked at lunch that Alzheimer's recently was reclassified as type 3 diabetes, that people now understand that it's dietary, that we're poisoning this whole generation. Shouldn't we be talking about that? Shouldn't we be talking about the fact that we have 1,000 ingredients in our foods that are illegal in other countries, in Europe, et cetera, and that, We're just systematically poisoning this generation of kids. When I talk about it, I feel like people's lights go on and they say, yeah, that is what this election should be about. It shouldn't be about the fear. I think people will want to talk about those issues. They want to solve those issues, and that the solution, and that the RNC and the DNC don't want people talking about it because they're both paid by BlackRock. And BlackRock owns the processed food companies that are poisoning us. And they own the pharmaceutical companies that are making $4.3 trillion a year, 5 times our defense budget, treating the chronic disease that's being caused by BlackRock's other, group of companies. BlackRock owns all the military contractors, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Lockheed, et cetera, that are destroying all the ports and bridges and schools and, roads in Ukraine. And they also have the contract for rebuilding Ukraine. Right. So you have, both parties are being supported by BlackRock. Both of them are the war party. And both of them are kind of captured of that system. And it's all the issues that would challenge their hegemony over our democracy are issues that are never talked about, although when Americans hear about them, so Americans think, oh, this election's about abortion and guns at the border. That's all the news. By the way, CNN, they're all ultimately owned by BlackRock too. So you're in this closed loop bubble where you're not allowed to really talk about what's important. And everybody thinks, oh, elections are about abortions, guns, and the border, and about hating the other guy. And when you start talking about the issues that are really important to people, the chronic disease, the debt, the addiction to war, restoring our soils, having healthy foods, I see that there's a tremendous receptivity by Republicans and Democrats. And of course, they want to make sure Republicans and Democrats never get together on anything.
Yeah, say what you want about RFK Jr., but he certainly calls out things as they are. I do not agree with him about global warming and stuff like that. He said some rather stupid things about that. But despite that, though, I love he's genuine, right? And he says things as they are, and there's so much I agree with him about, and especially when he calls out the Uniparty. So he alone is interested in speaking for people and not going along with the big corporate sponsorship and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just think he's genuine, and I'm gonna cut my toenails because they're getting kind of long. I don't know why. So you get to enjoy watching me do this. So anyhow, yeah, he says things as they are, and he speaks from the heart, and that's really genuine. And yeah, he calls out the Uniparty. We got these abortion or gun rights and all these things. It's a distraction, right? They got it's fun to watch these videos that show like these crazy moonbats that go ape shit over people who disagree with them, and like they have no argument. So they got like some conservative person goes out to a park or whatever, and then some lunatic starts shouting and frothing at the mouth and stuff. Yeah, that's fun to watch for a bit, but really so much of that is just such a distraction. All it does is just serve to division, right? So a lot of these political choices, in the end, they're going to be funding the genocide in Ukraine or the genocide in Israel, Gaza, and yeah, it's so much destruction, right? And of course, both sides are beholden to the military industrial complex and such. So, and this is what sets me apart from my family back in Arizona is, I have to admit, all right, I grew up in a very Republican Party family, right? My parents were very, very big into politics, and actually, one thing that's cool though is that my dad, because he was kind of fairly a big person kind of in the 70s, and when John McCain first came to town, he sat down after like some political party, whatever, get together, precinct committee board meeting or whatever, and so they had a cup of coffee, and my mom and dad were kind of nudging each other under the table, like, this guy's giving off some vibes we don't like, right? They were kind of nonverbal communicating with each other, and my dad told John McCain basically to pound sand. He said, just get out of here, and you don't belong here. Unfortunately, he stayed, and that guy was just a big warmongering embarrassment to the state of Arizona. And but anyhow, golly, yeah, there's what really started to change me were aspects of health and such, and I really started to get really pissed off, just really irritated with conservatives, because their philosophy was always like, government is always inefficient and wasteful, so then therefore private enterprise always has the best solution. And that is a very Ayn Rand type of philosophy. But if you let companies do what they want, then the government is supposed to protect the people from these companies. And my journey was finding out how incredibly unhealthy I was. And a lot of that was due to Monsanto and the not only GMOs and such, but also with the antibiotics that they were loading the cows with, and how that really wrecked my teen years, and I became lactose intolerant and all that kind of stuff. I have a friend who's lactose intolerant. He says he has a milk allergy, but I said, no, you're lactose intolerant. There's a difference. If you have a milk allergy, you might like have hives or something like that. But if you've got like diarrhea or something, that's lactose intolerant. And I used to be like that. It would cripple me for like days on end if I had milk. And now I can drink milk. Like I had like at lunchtime I had 2 like milk packets, like little cartons of milk, and I had a milk coffee after lunch, and actually I had milk coffee with my breakfast, right? So yeah, I can drink milk all day, and I'm fine now, because I built up the bacteria in my stomach and in my intestines that had been killed through all the antibiotics that Bill Clinton gave the green light to in the 90s. Okay, so anyhow, when I started kind of reassessing everything, I really was impressed with how, like, quote, liberals were a lot more into like natural living and organic food, and they were into like alternative healing, herbal remedies, stuff like that. And conservatives, for the most part, seem to be rather narrow-minded about that kind of stuff. Very narrow-minded, for example, about like acupuncture and stuff like that. Oh, that's a bunch of snake oil, it's hocus pocus kind of stuff. Well, now it seems like the tables have completely turned, and it seems like liberals are the ones who are the biggest champions for big pharma. they're the biggest champions for the military-industrial complex and such. So they talk about parties switching and such. That has definitely happened, and it's just really interesting because people have just been really woken up about the dangers of what's in our food and what's in the medications and such like that. That I'm siding far more with well, conservatives, MAGA, whatever you want to call it. This new movement, and the whole thing about RFK Jr. jumping on the MAGA and calling it MAHA, right? Make America Healthy Again. I'm very excited about this. I really, really am excited about this. I really to have RFK Jr. in charge of health and was it Health and Human Services, HHS, right? The current head of that is that goofy Richard Levine, the guy that thinks that he's a woman or something. He's incredibly obese, right? And then you look at that versus RFK Jr. He's totally ripped. I mean, he's in better shape than I am, right? And he's in his 70s, and I'm like 48, and I'm having a hard time building up muscle mass that can really even come close to his. I think probably. Yeah, he's got pecs, right? I'm still flabby and such, right? But yeah, I started really. One of the weird things that really shook me up was when I found out, because I had learned on my own about aspartame and how bad that is and how it causes headaches and memory loss. And my mom would drink a Diet Pepsi every day with lunch, right? She thought she was being healthy. She would have a Diet Pepsi with a bag of microwave popcorn, and she just thought that it's low calorie. It's poison. I mean, I admit, we'll have that on occasion, right? Maybe a couple times a year, especially if I can find stuff that's not American corn, right? If it's domestic Japanese corn that's not GMO, that would be best. But anyhow, yeah, every day, and she was always complaining about headaches and memory loss. And I'm like, you should stop the Diet Pepsi every day, Mom. You really should. And she would never do it. And then when her doctor finally told her, he insisted that she has to stop that for her own health. She did. And then when she was saying, "Oh, my memory's getting sharper, and I don't have all the headaches I used to," and she's like, "I've noticed that ever since I stopped drinking the Diet Pepsi," and I told her, "Mom, I was telling you for years to do that." "Oh, you did? Oh, I couldn't remember." "Well, yeah, because it was causing you memory loss, right? What the hell?" So that's just right? It's kind of funny, but it's not, because it's reality. So anyhow, what really freaked me out was Donald Rumsfeld was responsible for aspartame, and I'm like, what the heck? He was the Secretary of Defense, right? Under both Bush Jr. and Bush Sr.'s administrations, wasn't he? And I'm like, what the hell? What does he have to do with aspartame? And I looked into that kind of stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? And people would, conservative people would oh gosh, yeah, these GMOs are much better because you don't have to worry about finding worms in your corn. Well, because the worms know that they're poison, and you don't, and they can tell the difference, but you can't. And you think that's a good thing? Yeah, don't think so. So, yeah, people just kind of, I was just really separating myself from all that kind of stuff. And then, I have to admit that once I moved to Japan, I just didn't care anymore. But when that whole TPP thing was coming along, I'm like, I was about ready to vote for Bernie Sanders because at that time he was the only one I knew of who was speaking out against that. Looking back now, he's just controlled opposition, I guess. But what I respected him at that time, though, was that he was really anti-establishment. So then, of course, Trump came along, and I looked into that, and I'm like, wow, yeah, he's definitely on my side. So, but just with RFK Jr. teaming up, those two guys together, it's amazing. It really is amazing. There's just so much that, I mean, I could just go on and on about this kind of stuff, but Trump was good friends with JFK Jr. When he was alive, or maybe he's still alive, right? What's interesting was that RFK Jr. was on a live stream, and somebody put a message like, if JFK Jr. is still alive, touch your nose. And you could see, like, he's looking at the camera, or he's looking at the comments on the side, and then he didn't go like this or like this. He just went like that. There's no mistaking what that meant. So maybe he's just having people on. I don't know. But I don't know. For me, that kind of stuff is just far more exciting than Netflix or all this other filter carb that passes for media nowadays. It's just so much of that stuff I just don't really care about. Although, of course, I do want to see Deadpool, and I do want to see Alien, Romulus, and stuff like that. So, things are exciting. We're in the middle of a catastrophic shit show. I mean, the bullet didn't stop Trump, so now they're talking about West Nile virus, and they've already been dumping mosquitoes infected with that on people in Florida, and oh my golly, oh my gosh, the GMO mosquitoes on top of that. Bill Gates is like a frickin', he's like Cobra Commander. I mean, I don't think even Cobra Commander would have thought out the idea of, like, blocking out the sun. But that's the kind of weird stuff that Bill Gates thinks of. He's a total psychopath. So, anyhow, gosh, the stuff in Europe with the whole immigrant thing. If you are from the UK, all I can say is I am an immigrant. I immigrated to Japan, not to see what I can take from this country, but to see what I could contribute, right? I contribute by teaching English to kids, and the kids love me. Adults, I teach both adults and children, and it's a really rewarding job, and it really means a lot to me. So, anyhow, yeah, I don't try to force other people to, like, for example, Christmas. Every year I have to take the day off. I don't demand that I get the day off. No, I use PTO. I'm not like these people who are, like, insisting on Ramadan, and then insisting on halal, and you insisting that everybody capitulate to what they demand as a minority, because in their countries, especially religious minorities, they're persecuted and murdered all the time. So, and now they're persecuting and murdering the citizens of Europe, and in a sane world, that should not be permitted. So, yeah, we got a couple more months until November, and then we shall see. I'm almost certain that we are on the precipice of a new beginning with not only the United States, but it would spread across the world if with the positive impacts that can be made in the United States, that there will be a definite ripple effect around the world. And I think we're already seeing a bit of that with, like, Argentina, for example, with the election there, with that badass guy who looks like freaking Wolverine from the X-Men. What's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but Javier something. Yeah, Trump keeps saying the best has yet to come, which is one of those Q phrases. It's funny because I've talked about Q on this channel before, and CNN has even talked about Q. All right, they've even done, like, back during the whole Snowden thing from like 20 years ago or whatever. They were talking about Q, the Q team and stuff. Q clearance is a real thing, okay, and it is a bit of internet history that Trump knows how to use 4chan, and he had posted at least once on 4chan, and that can be proven. And so he's even in his speeches has said that we've gone around the media in ways that have never been that's never been done before. So when Q kept saying these people are sick, the best is yet to come, nothing can stop what is coming, all of these phrases, and these keep getting reposted by Trump and Dan Scavino all the time. And the whole "where we go one, we go all," right? Trump keeps reposting this over and over again, and yet Conservative Inc. Agrees completely with what the shitlib media says, and Q is fake, it's a psyop, and all that kind of stuff. And these conservative pundits keep echoing that, So it should be pretty obvious to anybody who spends more than just a few minutes that that whoever this Q person was working for the Trump administration, okay? And if it was just some screw off in his mom's basement or something or other, he would have been found out by now. And I'm sure that Biden would have done something, but no, I'm certain that it was within the government. So anyhow, yeah, I do believe the best is yet to come, and we're gonna see. It's gonna be a shit show, I'm sure, but because they know that if frickin' Cumstain Harris loses, then they're toast. So they're gonna fight this, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It was mentioned early this year about a Black Swan event. Well, we did have an attempted assassination, right? And as Jimmy Dore put out, and I love Jimmy Dore. He's my favorite liberal commentator. He's like, you notice that the establishment is not trying to assassinate Biden. They're not trying to assassinate Harris. They're going after Trump, and for good reason, because of stuff like what RFK Jr. has talked about. He is threatening to declassify the RFK and JFK assassinations. He's threatening to release the Epstein client list, for example. So much, and I think we're going to see in the future the IRS abolished, the Federal Reserve either abolished or completely reformatted to the gold standard instead of fiat currency. And I think we're going to see some good times ahead, but it's going to be a rocky couple of months at the very least, and who knows beyond that what might happen. I don't know. I can just say that I feel relieved because I'm here in Japan and I don't have to sit through this, with these Venezuelan gang they're taking over apartment complexes and stuff. All sorts of just insane stuff that's going on right now. Just sit tight and just pray. That's all I can say. So anyhow, yeah, I know some people would complain that I have an opinion on things, but most of those people don't sit till the end of these videos like this. So I'm gonna end the video now, and because I can't think of anything else to talk about. So thanks for watching. If you have watched to the end of the video, please leave a comment, let me know. And if you are unable to watch stuff on Odyssey, again, let me know if you have problems with viewership. I don't have any problems, but I've heard some people have problems. Maybe it depends on where you live, I don't know. But I can't imagine why something like that would be like a case-by-case kind of a thing. Anyhow, let me know, and because I do like to hear from people. So yeah, live long and prosper. See you guys later. Bye.